your mind, programming that is positive deliberately. Because, see, when you think about what's happening in the world today, if you turn on the television, you look at the news, you listen to the news, there's so much that's going on that can traumatize you. Look at what's happening in Egypt and Tunisia and Libya and Athens, Greece. And thousands of people hurling Molotov cocktails at police. There's so much going on all over the place. And the people in as Wisconsin want to overthrow the governor. You know, they call him Scott Mubarak. I mean, there's so much going on all over the world. And you can't tell me that this is not stressing people out unconsciously and consciously when you look at what's happening. But then there are things that's closer in on a personal level, not just on a global and a national level and a community level, but on a personal level, people are going through some stuff. What's keeping you up at night? We're talking about that, and how do we keep our mind focused? How do we drive our minds and don't allow our minds to drive us? The number to call to become a part of this conversation and to hear your story, and I want to hear it because we can deal with it, is 888-539-2980. That's 888-539-2980. Tony on line 3. Tony, thank you so much from Beverly Hills. Thank you for calling in. What is it, Tony, that keeps you up at night?
Well, that's a great topic, great show. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What actually has kept me up, and I've beaten it, is this feeling that my day hasn't been fruitful. I haven't accomplished what I need to, and probably even worse, that I haven't planned my tomorrow. I get into bed, and although I'm not really thinking about specific thoughts, there's something that seems unfinished that I haven't kind of planned. And what I did was, and this took several weeks and months to figure out, I started making a little list next to my bed about what I needed to get done. And I found that after I made that list, I could get into bed and my mind started to quiet down. And I didn't have to worry about forgetting because it was all on the piece of paper next to me.
You know, Tony, you just did something for me because, you know, one of the biggest fears that I realized is keeping me up since my birthday on February the 17th, when I saw the note that the note was that you haven't, done enough. What has kept me up and I've been losing sleep about is that I feel that I'm running out of time and I haven't done enough with my life. I haven't done all the things that I know that I'm capable of doing.
Right.
You know, and so there's some things on a relationship level that I want to spend more time with my children and my grandchildren and their friends that I have, that I haven't spent enough time with them and enjoyed them. And then there's some things that I want to do in terms of training and developing youth and developing speakers and reducing the recidivism rate in our prisons. And so working out the schedule to do the kind of work that the community work that's in my spirit, it's in my heart, that I'm good at. And doing all the other things that I have to do in business to leave a legacy for my children. It's just like, oh, my God, time is running out. So I saw this quote. It's a funny quote, but I didn't laugh too much. It says, life is like a roll of toilet tissue. The closer you get to the end, the faster it runs out. I said, oh, my God. So I said, God, please don't let me run out now. Please don't let me go now. I got too much stuff to do, you know?
Exactly. And the whole thing for me kicked off because I had always slept perfectly. It was one night I got into bed and it was 4 o'clock in the morning, and I thought, how did it become 4 o'clock in the morning? And then I started to think the sun's going to come up and a whole day will have started, and you know what happened? I'm sort of out of sync with the natural rhythm of things, and that played on my head for about 6 weeks until I could learn how to get back in order.
It seems like, and I don't know whether that's happened for you, but to me it seems like time has picked up speed. The days are going faster now.
Right. Well, I was reading somewhere that since you and I are both over 30. That as you get older, your internal sense of time does change. If you ask somebody to close their eyes and count out 60 seconds, people that are over 30 have a different take of it than the younger people do. So time really does seem to move faster.
Wow, now that's a good explanation. Now say that again. Now that after you
that as you get older, your internal clock changes, and your perception of how long a minute is different, and that's why. Because I used to hear my dad say all the time, "Boy, this year went by so fast," and I'd say, okay, sure. But now I see it too. It's like when New Year's comes, it's like, wow, it seems like New Year's was just yesterday.
Right, and so you say, and if you tell an older person to close their eyes and a younger person to close their eyes, their perception of how long a minute is will be dramatically different.
Right. Yeah, and there's research to show it. I mean, I heard it on a show. I don't know. It's just one show I heard it on, but I'm sure it's up there.
Well, there's got to be something to that, because I'm certainly feeling it. My mother used to talk about how fast things were going, how fast the months and the years were flying by, and now I'm feeling that same thing. Well, listen, I really appreciate your calling in and sharing your story, and thank you for the conversation, and thank you so much for listening.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yeah, that is something else. Have you experienced that? Like time has picked up speed, but now with what Tony has said, that makes sense. That makes sense that it's faster if you're older, and it's slower, or it's just normal for whatever the normal is for younger people. Now that's interesting. Yes, thank you for that. But that feeling that I haven't done enough, that feeling that time is running out, that feeling that there's so much to do and not enough time to do it. Those are some of the things that have kept me up. I want to hear from you, and also how you are dealing with it. One of the good things that Tony said that I'm going to do tonight is that I'm going to make a list of all the things that I'm going to do before I leave the planet. In fact, it's really my bucket list. Yeah, that's it. It's my bucket list. That's really what I need to do. I need to do my bucket list so that as I'm on purpose, he says that it just gave his mind a sense of ease getting ready to go to bed when he made a list of the things that he wanted to get done, that he didn't have to go to sleep with that on his mind, because he's written it down. He doesn't have to worry about forgetting it. He's written it down. It's present, and now because he can see it, he can work on it. That's a good suggestion. Thank you so much once again, Tony. We're talking about what keeps you up at night. And also, maybe you had some things that were keeping you up and you dealt with them. I want to know, how did you do it? What did you do to resolve that? It will be helpful to somebody else that's listening. The number to call is 888-539-2980. My name is Les Brown. You're just tuning in. You say, this is different. I know. You feel positive, don't you? You feel differently as you listen to this program. It's different for a reason, because it's deliberately designed to change your mindset. It's deliberately designed to motivate you and to inspire you to get out of your head and into your greatness. And we come your way Monday through Friday from 2 o'clock until 4 o'clock. We're talking about what keeps you up at night. I want to hear from you. The number to call is 888-539-2980. That's 888-539-2980. And I was looking at a quote, and I love quotes. If you love quotes, then you will join me on this one here. And this particular quote, it's a quote that talks about fear. And Zig Ziglar says, fear is false evidence appearing real. Well, it most certainly the things that we look at, that we can strengthen them and make them fearful. But another quote I saw on fear called, fear can keep us up all night long, but faith makes one fine pillow. Come on now. Fear can keep you up all night long, but faith makes one fine pillow. Keep that in your mind. This is Les Brown. This is Mamie Brown's baby boy. Call me now. 888